forget to pull your parachute.
Hey guys, today I'm going to go over the cons and pros of a brand new realistic shooter made by a Rayside studio called Bodycam. The game was developed by two dudes, a 17-year-old and a 20-year-old, and its main concept is that you control a character from a bodycam perspective while fighting against other players in a 5v5 setting, unless playing deathmatch, which is just free for all. I've been playing this game since the early access launch on June 7th of this year, and I have to say, I've been having lots of fun. The gunplay is simple, shoot and kill. Every round, you and everyone else in the game spawns with a randomized loadout of the current guns, attachments, and throwables in the game. There's 3 different game modes currently, with them being Body Bomb, Team Deathmatch, and Deathmatch, with more game modes, zombies, teas to come in the developer roadmap. Body Bomb is essentially search and destroy with an interesting twist of being able to plant the bomb anywhere on the map as soon as the game starts, with the players needing to reach 10 rounds won for the game to end. Team Deathmatch is essentially the same thing apart from no bomb, meaning you don't respawn when you die and the game ends when a side reaches 10 rounds won. Deathmatch is just what you'd expect. A free-for-all, everyone can kill everyone game mode, game ends when a person reaches 30 kills. The maps are pretty limited in the current game, with there only being 5 playable: Russian Building, Worn House, Tumblewood, Airsoft House, and Oil Rig. There's also a shooting range that you can play out to test out weapons, but yeah, who cares about that? The maps have a day cycle and a night cycle, which occur during gameplay. Nighttime is very hardcore on visibility, and any sudden flashlight presses can give away your position easily and get you killed. When you die in this game, you respawn as a drone that can scout and talk through voice chat towards friendlies or enemies. You ain't gonna win this, Gary. It's over for you. You might as well surrender.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
You might as well surrender, motherfucker. He's still on the side of the house. Oh my god, Pancake. You're lucky. You're lucky it was Pancake. You're lucky it was Pancake. As I've played the game, I've overheard mixed opinions about whether it should be a thing in the game, and I've also heard lots of people say to just remove the voice chat from the drones. In my opinion, I think it's fine and people should stop being babies in a hardcore shooter, but if there was a competitive game mode in the future, possibly just remove voice chat from them and it'd be fine. Also, the drones have night vision / thermals if you press left click while using them. I would assume there's a lot of noobs who don't do that. I also forgot to mention the whole game is proximity voice chat as well, so if you talk at all, both enemies and friendlies can hear you if in range. Now that I've gone over the explanation and basics of the game, let's talk about some of the cons and issues I've experienced while playing the game since launch. Number 1, the lobby system. The lobby system is better now compared to launch day thanks to updates from the devs. However, it's still nowhere near perfect. The lobby is open mic for everybody apart from the host, from what I've experienced, regardless of settings on client side, and you cannot kick players from the game as host. From what I've heard, you could kick players when the game launched, but the developers opted to remove the option with an update, possibly because people were getting annoyed with being kicked too much. Number 2, the settings and menus in the game lack responsiveness and even bug out pretty bad from time to time. For some reason, I can't set my display past 1440p in the settings as well, even though I'm gaming on a 4K 144Hz monitor. Now, the performance in the game isn't terrible. However, you do have to turn on FSR3 or FrameGen because without them, the game just doesn't run that well. I run on a pretty high-end PC, so I was surprised by the FPS even after fiddling with settings a bunch. The audio portion of the game is nice, but I'd also like to see a bomb sound effect slider just because, well, yet. See if I can maybe finish that game. Go back and just complete it through its buggy messiness. I see they haven't changed the bomb sound effect yet. God, bro. I also just wanted to give a little heads up on a new bug I've been experiencing. This is for the past, I don't know, maybe 2 days. But whenever I first load up the game, of course, I'm going to have the resolution bug, right? Whenever I first load up the game, the sound settings actually reset. So if I shoot now, that is max volume. However, if I go into my settings, none of this is maxed except for the master volume, which is what I have to do in order to be able to hear players better. So if I change this to 97 or anything, right, and then change it back to 100, it fixes it. Number 3, balancing game modes. The game launched with a pretty bad deathmatch system. It was basically spawn, die, because the spawns were incredibly close together and very predictable. The developers are working on this and fixing this issue, as I've seen in updates on the Discord, but I've opted to just not play deathmatch in the meantime, simply because I don't really enjoy it in this game. That's a personal preference though. Body bomb also seems like the time to detonate is very little compared to the progress of the game. It takes a lot longer to get from point A to point B on the map at nighttime, so I found that when I was playing this game mode, it was just impossible to clear the enemy and reach the bomb in time to defuse. I can't, dude. I just on the staircase. Fuck. Nope, that's GG. Bro, I feel like the timing on this shit is way too fucking fast. Like, God, we gotta just like rush that shit.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We got nothing to lose. Let's go. Move it.
I think the developers should add maybe a 15 to 30 second timer at the start of the game before the player can plant the bomb. Would just make it a little bit more balanced in my opinion. Games also tend to get dragged out when you get a, as I would call it, camping little bitch as your teammate. Yeah, like what? Bro, this is boring. Hello? Who is this dude? Who is he? I need to know. Now look, I get it. The game is a hardcore shooter and it should be treated that way. But man, some players just do not leave the spawn or go to camp in a spot 10 miles away from the shooting just to guarantee the win, or worse, die after the enemy takes 10 years to scout them. This makes games last so long, and some players even leave because of it. Also, AFK players are the biggest offense in this game. You can't kick them currently, and they don't get auto-kicked. So it's just a handicap for the team when people do it. Maybe add a AFK auto-kick timer, or let the host kick them if they haven't interacted with their game or moved a step from spawn after X amount of time. And finally, the last cons of this game: 2 developers and a $30 price tag. Now look, I'm not saying these developers aren't competent or anything. They've updated the game daily since launch to fix bugs and balance things, and they've even stated that they're looking to expand developer team in the future for the project. However, I just can't see future content coming fast enough for this game. Currently, I feel the game has about a 15 to 20 hour max playtime before a majority of players get bored and move on, simply because there's just not enough maps, not enough game modes, not enough content. The best map in the game by far is the house map, with the worst in my opinion being a tie between the forest and the airsoft map. The forest map was just reworked to be 50% smaller and had some buildings added in the middle to help reduce the time it took to find people, so it's a small plus, but it's still not my favorite map. And the airsoft map is just wallbang central frustration. The price tag for the game though is the biggest thing holding people back from buying it to me though. I've been streaming this game almost every day I can since the release of early access, twitch.tv/RiNOFocus. But most people who come into my chat even say $30 is too much, which unfortunately I somewhat agree. I think if it was $20, the game would have a good fight for the price, but $30 is just pushing it with the current content and roadmap projections in the game. Let's also not go down the rabbit hole conversation of most maps just being Unreal Engine assets bought by the devs. Now, if you're still with me after listing off all the cons of the game, let's get into some pros. The gunplay of this game is fun in a hardcore way, but I find the difficulty of aiming handicap fun for the experience, so much so that I would die for a game like this in a different setting, like open world or even just in a PvP setting aspect, which is why I'm kind of hyped by the zombies game mode in the roadmap. When you run into players in the game, it's not just a who can pull their weapon out first interaction each time. Sometimes you or the other player just get stuck in this I can't hit this shot for the life of me interaction. And when you finally kill them, it's really rewarding, unless you die to them. The lighting, while not being something new, is really cool to see in a PvP game. Nighttime, while being frustrating, showcases how good Unreal Engine 5's lighting can be at times, and the camera style just makes it this surreal gaming experience. The minimal UI also adds to the fun hardcore aspect. I sometimes find myself just enjoying looking around and seeing how the game looked on my 4K monitor stuck on 1440p. Well, you get what I'm saying. It's just a cool experience. The player interactions are also fun with the voice chat to me. I love being able to talk shit and being talked shit to. It's an aspect of gaming that I hate to see being taken away in most shooters I play nowadays. Anyways, that's about it for this video about the game. In all honesty, if the price isn't an issue to you, I say buy the game and enjoy it. But if the price puts you on the fence, hey, just buy it and try it out for less than 2 hours on Steam so you can refund it if you don't enjoy it. I've been streaming this game loads on my Twitch if any of you would like to check it out. I'll have it linked in the description. I also have multiple gameplay videos up on this channel in case you would like to check it out some more. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you next video.